Hey guys, um, hope you're having a great week so far. So I just wanted to share something pretty interesting I've been thinking about life's journey and how we make progress in life and how transformation comes to us, but comes to us all differently. For some people, transformation comes pretty quickly, and for some people, it comes, slowly. Uh, and there is a temptation that when you are at a different place in your own journey, you could begin to ask yourself questions like, why am I not further along? Why am I here instead of, further down, on this journey? If you just take a step back and think about your life, I like to do this a lot. Just think about the times in your life when you thought that you weren't making much progress. And then because of what you were doing at that time, maybe you spent 2 or 3 years stuck in a specific space as you thought. And then after a while, you moved on and then you realized that this time you spent here actually was preparing you for this role. So I'll give you an example. I mean, there is a common story for those of us who grew up in the church system, and we know a little bit about scripture, the Bible. You'll remember there is a story about Joseph. First off, he was sold off as a slave by his brothers, all right, and then he gets bought by this guy Potiphar, and he starts working in Potiphar's house. And if you read the story, it's kind of interesting. He doesn't complain. He doesn't bitch about what a terrible blow he's been dealt in life, because where he came from, he was his father's favorite, right? Now he's just a servant in the house, but he just keeps working hard, focus on his work. Next thing you know, he's a top gun in the house. He's running the whole house. Now the woman comes to him and says, "Hey," his boss's wife says, "Hey, come, let's sleep together." And he says, "No, I'm not doing that." So she lies about him. He gets thrown in jail. Now he's in jail, same attitude. He just keeps, doing what he's doing in jail. He becomes so good that he's the one that's put in charge of everybody in jail. And he ends up in jail, interpreting somebody's dream. The person gets, set free, and the person totally forgets about him. The person, starts working for the king. One day the king has a dream. The person remembers, oh, there was this guy that, interprets dreams. And they get Joseph out of jail. And Joseph comes, listens to the king's dream, and he explains the king's dream. And the king says, wow, the solution you've come up with from this dream is going to save the whole nation. And then he makes Joseph the prime minister. Now, if you chart that story, when he was his father's favorite, like life was good, right? Then he gets sold as a slave. You would think life is bad now. And then he becomes like a supervisor. Everything is, hunky dory again. Then he goes into jail. Life is bad. He becomes supervisor in jail, taking care of all the others. Life is good. He helps people out. Life is great. He's forgotten. Life is bad. He pops out of jail again. Life is good. But in reality, if you think about it, every part of that journey, every part of it was and contributed to his final outcome. Every part. When you are in your own life journey, that is the consciousness that you need to have. Um, I faced a lot of challenges that have made me realize what something not Jim Rohn, Wayne Dyer said. If you're aware, consciously aware that the situation you are in right now is a preparation for the next phase of your life, you'll be able to not endure, but sort of live in it more tolerantly and with more consciousness so that you learn what you need to learn. And when you live like that, the tendency is you move forward a lot faster. You acquire the skills that you need from that phase of your life to help you in the next phase that's going to come up. When I spent 4 years trying to learn how to build an online business and I didn't get any results, it looked like I was wasting my time. But when I found Mo and started using the Mo process to generate, money online, those 4 years I had spent learning all sorts of stuff, web design, WordPress, Facebook, you name it, I'd done it. All that knowledge helped me in two ways. First off, it helped me with my Mo business that I really started getting results really fast because I already had this 4 years of experience. But much more than that, it helped me in terms of the mindset that I needed to be able to be successful. And then I also applied that to my day job as well, because those skill sets started showing up as requirements in different places. So wherever you are right now, what I want you to think about and be aware of is that you're like kind of like on a Joseph's journey, if you will. It's not an up down thing like it apparently looks like. No, it's actually just a gradual progression to the point where you need to be. And the truth is that each spot you are in, as bad as it may feel or seem at the time, is actually preparing you for your next elevation, if you will. So have that consciousness in your mind as you go through your training for the program. Every part of the training counts. Every part of it is preparing you. It may look small, but every part, the daily calls, the steps, the book reading, the assignments, the homework, the research, it's all building up to the point where you suddenly look back and realize that, wow, I have all these skill sets. I'm now an amazing entrepreneur. I really know so much. And one of the ways you're going to know that you know so much is when people come to you and start asking you for solutions, and it just pops out. And actually you just like, oh, no, 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 you need to do this and do this and do this. And then you go like, oh, whoa, I know this stuff. That is when you realize that your journey has actually been like this. All right, guys. Love you all. I'll talk to you soon.